How are y'all doing? This is Downtown K for another episode of Downtown Podcast. This week we have the legendary lyricist, energy-driven, stage-grabbing, stage-driving, gal them dirty whining, man them bunning tight pants with a square front shoes, Juno Nominated, award songwriter, producer, what
we've done it all.
Trinity Chris is in the building this week, and you have to put respect where respect is due. And if you really say you're from Toronto, you know what it is. No long talking. So Downtown, thank you so much for coming out.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Don't waste no time with negativity.
No
That's
time.
what Downtown is about.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bun up.
Yeah. And it's very important for people to hear what the OGs of where all these flavors and all these concepts of what it is to be a true Torontonian artist and bring it to an international stage, what the foundation stepped from.
I thank you for that.
And it happened in a time when there wasn't a lot of social media. Maybe you had a local MSN.
That's it.
Whatever the case was, the radio was what it was.
Radio in the
streets. If you had a CD player, you had to hold it out to hear, make sure it don't skip while you're dancing up the place. So, it was a serious time. And the bars or the lyricism was heavy. The way you ride the beats you guys were choosing to do, it was a definite time. And you definitely transcended and crossed the border. It wasn't no play thing.
Thank you. You're amazing. Thank you for that.
Let's take it a little bit back.
Okay.
Becoming Trinity Chris. How did you decide I'm going to share this with the world, or this is what I'm going to do?
I've had a love for music since I was a child. I just love music. I've been through a lot of phases with it, and being in prison in the penitentiary in America made me realize, choose something. You know what I mean? Like, you seriously have to choose something now.
For real.
It's just not a vagabond type of lifestyle anymore. You know what I mean? You got to get out there and do something. So, when you're in those situations, you seek a higher power just to keep your solace and your aura and your head calm.
You have to.
Because you're there for a minute. So if you don't do that, you'll go crazy and it'll be a bad run.
It'll get to you.
Yeah, it'll be a bad run. So that's how my connection got my name. I just thought of Trinity, and I put my government to the end of it, and that's how I got it, and I ran with it.
Legit.
It just felt right.
Legit. And to be honest, I never really questioned the name when I heard the name Trinity Chris. But at the same time, it made sense. And it was a powerhouse of energy you're getting. Kind of like how people could say when they see Baby Sham perform, or they see Mr. Vegas perform, they see Bounty Killer perform, they see Lindo P perform, they see Trinity Chris perform. They know when they see Isis perform, it's a certain type of energy that's being brought to the stage. You guys are men in the industry that people can say demand the stage. Everybody can, not to say everybody can write a song, but everybody can write a song, everybody can record in the studio, but not everyone can command the stage. And your name was definitely on that list of people that can command the audience and the stage.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
So to have that amount of confidence, were you ever shy, or were you just a person that was just...
Man, I flopped so many shows. Even in our stardom stages, you have good and bad nights. Not every night you're gonna get a forward. Sometimes you're in mind, but for the most part, it's like a hunger. I black out when I do those type of things. When I'm on stage, it's like I'm a different person. I'm not Christopher Anthony Jones. I'm actually Trinity Chris. I go into that character. It's almost like transforming into a superhero. You have to embody it. You know what I mean? And if you want people to say, yo, embody, you've got to step out.
Is there certain things that you just don't allow to happen before you perform? Or certain things that you're just Nah, not right now. Not until I come off the stage.
Yeah, like before shows, no one can call me. I used to be a pet peeve about that. You know what I mean? Nobody but the money, the promoter, and my DJ Specs at the time. You know, whoever it was, nobody can call me. I don't want to talk to anybody because from I get up on stage on show day, all I'm thinking about is what I'm going to do in that 15 minutes on that stage, and it better be good. Like I'm my hardest critic. I'm my hardest challenge. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that was one of them. I used to always practice by myself a lot. Always go over my stuff by myself. I'm big on that stuff. In the car, in the shower. It's always reciting. You know, it's like, because you know, you're only as good as your last hit. So in order to keep sharp, you better stay practicing. You know what I'm saying? You know, and I can speak for that because I've been quiet for a long time. Legit. You know what I mean? But I'm good in my body. I'm good in my confidence. I'm good within my skin with that. Certain artists will slit their wrists if they're not heard of in 2 years. Legit. We know we're born with this. Legit. Nowadays, it's a lot of developed talent. Yep. These guys ain't really artists, man. No. It's a show and tell thing. It's back to public school. Yep. You see what I'm saying? It's not really raw bond talent. We're like talent. Legit. You know, like in the Maestro Fresh West days, and you know, Shot Claire, and then chaos, raw barn, like raw talent. What was his name from Rexdale? The Hood is here. What's his name again? Jellystone. Raw talent. You dig what I'm saying?
Real OGs.
Yeah,
real
man.
OGs.
Deuce Concrete Mob.
You guys know.
Raw talent. You know, starting the lineup from Regent Park. Raw talent.
Legit.
You dig?
Legit.
So it's like when you hear these guys rap, you're like, it's almost like they're reading off a paper.
Legit.
I swear to God.
So is that a rule that, like, you know, you shouldn't do that or is that something that maybe reflects who they are as a person, that the lyrics are not coming from here? Because
when real artists see that stuff, we cringe, but you can't say nothing about it because you cannot speak on someone's talent.
Legit.
Who dare you to do that? Yeah. But real artists sit back and be like, Jesus Christ, look what the music's going right now. Like, what are these youths preeing right now?
What are they doing?
Like, what are they preeing, you know?
Is there any of the new school artists that you would say, let's like shout out some Toronto people that you would say, all right, you're moving up in the right direction to develop where you need to be?
Big up Pressa.
Yeah.
Love how his team is dealing with him.
The lyrics.
Love how the team's dealing with him. The songs that are coming out from him, big.
One time. Nobody can.
Just big. You know, Bloody Hands is my favorite.
Yeah.
That's my tune. My 4-year-old bug out to that song. Yeah, man. Real talk. Like, who else is banging in Toronto? I like Killy.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I like these kids. Why? You're talking about, okay, these kids are doing something that was unheard of in Toronto, man.
Legit.
When did you hear of Toronto artists selling out the Mod Club?
It's true. It's a fact.
Like right now, sorry,
No,
I'm doing backflips for these artists right now as an artist. Watching these young bucks do some feats that we couldn't do. I was selling out stuff. My birthday parties were wall to wall. Going home with 10 grand at the end of the night. 12 grand, yeah. These kids now are doing that though, performing their music that's not signed to major labels.
Independent.
Are you kidding me right now? If these guys are watching, you guys do not change that formula one bit, because it's building that independent Master P type of essence with these artists right now, where they don't need no labels.
Yep, no limit.
We just want touring agencies right now.
Because that's where the money's coming
from. The money's off the shows.
The money got...
Money's off the shows.
So
yeah, Cardi B sold 1 million records in the last week.
Great.
But all that money is going back to the 20 million or 23 million they use on promotion. She ain't seen those record sales. Yep. So she's got to bust her ass doing shows.
Yeah, it's a fact.
And once that money's recouped, then she'll see a little check or two off the CDs and the download sales.
Did you enjoy the Cardi B album?
Big album.
Yeah.
I just like her whole rise from nothing to something.
Definitely.
The bitch that everyone didn't like.
Definitely.
Came out and kicked everyone's teeth. Yeah.
Definitely.
And then kicked everyone else's teeth out.
Definitely. She did her thing.
Did her thing.
Did her thing. Nobody can knock her for that.
I can relate to her. We mashed up $100,000 in our career all over the place. I did that how many times? I spent about 10 down payments on a house because I believed in what I believed in.
Legit.
When I heard her story, she did the same thing too. She spent $200,000 before anybody even wanted to look at her. Now she's the biggest artist in the world.
Legit.
You know? It's amazing. The Come Down, another group in Toronto that's wicked. Huge right now. These guys are bringing out 1,000 people, charging $20. Look here, man.
Club charging.
They're getting 20, 30 racks a show, and in their sleep, right in the city. You don't even know if you don't do your research.
Legit. And that's the thing I find with Toronto too. Unless you're in certain nooks and certain circles, stuff can pass you like this, and people can pass you like that, or opportunities that you don't even know that's happening in the city. Like,
I love Toronto music right now.
Definitely.
I'm a big fan. Always have been. Definitely. But I'm more impressed and loving everything. Like, F with me and get some money. Enough people don't even know it's Boy Wonder that did that beat. Enough people don't know that.
And he did the Be Careful beat.
A Be Careful beat. Enough people don't for Cardi B.
Yeah.
That's Toronto. Yeah. Boy Wonder.
God's Plan.
Big.
Diplomatic Community.
How do you not love this?
Endless.
How do you not love this? So
endless.
When I see
we're getting on those charts, people are finally
we run the music
that respect.
Mm-hmm.
But you know what I feel? We've always ran the music game, but they didn't give us that breakthrough. And also, Toronto was its own bomb, in my opinion. Like, it was imploding on itself. Where what I realized with New York is, when you say you're from New York automatically is fucking with you. When you're from Canada, you're from Toronto, it takes a while, or you have to go somewhere else and be popping for it to come back, and finally then Toronto's like, all right, we've seen you in the States. Mm-hmm. You know, did you find that was a experience for you? Or even to the Caribbean, did you find that was an experience for you?
Big time. Everything you stumble upon or embark upon, you better take it as a staple of your life. You know what I mean? Because you're obviously learning something, and you're involved in something that's brand new. You know what I mean? Going to Jamaica, I got the same love, if not more. Yeah, Jamaica's a place where they love you. Yep. They hate you. They hate you. Toronto here is, they'll say to your face they love you, but as soon as you walk through that door, I posted it.
Very, very.
Oh, that posted it feel like him butt. Oh, true, I'm a Trinity Chris and feel like him big. Arr. And I come back through the door like, what, dog?
Super facts.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Jamaica now, they don't like you. Their faces twist.
Yeah, they're not.
No hail, no looking, no acknowledgement, no nothing. They love you. Oh boy, they're gonna tell you they love you. They're gonna show you that they love you. Yeah. They show me mad love down there. Yeah. Big up Bounty Killer. Yeah. Another artist that has.
He pushed through a lot of artists.
It's almost like,
and they don't put the respect on his name. But as soon as something else comes up,
when we're saying general, this guy's a general. This guy is a general. I'm not saying that because he was good to me. He gave me a hit record and this, that.
No, it's facts.
I was around him for a long time, for months, and his
a
level
father to the game.
Yeah, and it doesn't drop, and it's consistent. It doesn't change. Real general. This man has spawned and made countless of individuals millionaires.
Yep.
Just because of not being selfish, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And just recognizing and he did that with me. He didn't have to do a song with me and allow me to do all the hang out with him. But the energy, the positive vibration, the energy, the song was undeniable. It's just the energy, and I didn't stop. Like,
the consignment.
I paid him 7 years ago.
How did that? Wow.
Well, we're street niggas. We're street dudes. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you gotta, nowadays the music is what's going on out there. Your topic has to catch.
Legit.
Dope boys will catch that instantly. No consignment, cash alone. Business people will catch that instantly. No consignment, cash alone. Legit. It's something in Jamaica that had to stop because the whole thing in Jamaica runs off consignment. I owe you.
Everybody.
No, man. There's no way. There's no way you can be an entity or an empire by owing.
Yep. Yep.
So it was just me, my inner thoughts that I put on paper.
Legit.
You know what I mean? And then I paid him 7 years ago. and was like, you know what?
Was it you weren't getting him, or?
It was just wrong timing.
Yeah.
Again, and I went to hell a few times, in that process. So, once I got back on the road, I said, all right, I'm gonna go get it done.
Yeah.
And it was a big tune.
Okay.
God is good, so good.
Definitely. Downtown, don't waste no time with negativity. What is a way that you don't waste time with negativity?
Playing with my son.
I read it.
Playing with my son.
That's need to know. It's not embarrassing to be a good dad.
Oh my God. It's everything.
All y'all want to shove up in everything. Like, it's not embarrassing to be a father.
No, man.
That's a beautiful thing.
It's the most beautiful thing in the world. When I'm having a bad day, my 4-year-old erases that immediately. Like, when I remind myself why I'm here, I just look at him. I don't live for me no more. He's here, but I live for my youths then. I'm just here. Wherever the universe and God takes me, I will follow. And I will show up, I'll be ready. And that's just my mindset. Always be ready and just show up. You know what I mean? For my child, always ready for him. Okay,
let's take it back a little bit more. You've worked with countless artists like Esco Levi, Cardinal, Bounty Killer, as you said.
I didn't work with Cardinal.
Oh, my mistake. No. My apologies.
Yeah, I didn't work with Cardinal. I'm not a fan of Cardinals.
Okay.
For a lot of reasons.
All right.
A lot of personal reasons.
Well,
a lot of personal reasons.
You guys choose not to waste time with negativity.
Yeah.
You go your way.
I'm not going to be a guy to be like, F Cardinal.
No.
This, and no. Dep on that.
No.
You know what I mean? I'll see you in the street and do that. There's no mouthing. You just see me and it'll be on.
Definitely.
That's the kind of guy I do. You know what I mean? But personally, I'm not a fan.
No worries. So you've worked with Esco Levi, Rochester, Bounty Killer, some artists. I know I'm definitely missing a whole bunch, but how is it for you working with other artists? Like, how is that experience for you? Do you get respect being a Caribbean Toronto person that passes through, or do you like...
Street cred was first thing.
Yeah, was that more important?
Well, street cred, because you got to be about what you're talking about, somewhat. Because they're going to do the research on you.
Legit.
You know what I mean? So don't clown yourself out.
They always.
You dig? Yeah. So, for street clout, and we put out hot music. Me and Specs did a lot.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for Specs, I wouldn't have got hurt. And I've known Specs for years before we even tangled in music. We've always been musically connected, him and I.
That's dope.
From when we were like 13, 12.
That's dope, because Specs and King Toba, they're such godfathers in the game as well.
The godfathers
and instrumental. Yeah. And for a lot of Toronto Caribbean artists.
All of them.
A lot.
I don't care who you are.
You cannot.
You at some point text Specs or phone Specs to get your song played. So talk to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? At some point you did.
And that was, is it safe to say, one of our only outlets? Like, I know there was 89.5?
It's not the only outlet. It was just.
No, just like back then terms of like.
Back then. It was the biggest
shows
outlet.
That you could hear.
It was the biggest outlet.
If you played on a Sunday after 10 p.m.
Yeah, man.
And your track was a tape because people actually stayed up.
Well, over 1 million people was hearing you. You know what I mean? In different parts of the city altogether. He had the largest audience on a Sunday. He beat out the whole, whatever audience Jem and them had on the week, he did it in one day. 3 hours.
Killed it.
The whole city tuned in.
Killed it.
Whether you liked him or not, whether you thought his voice was annoying or not.
You had to pass through.
The music was flawless. And it was King Turbo. And, they have everybody. He played everything. Yeah.
So, Specs of the Boss! People hear that every single Sunday. Matter of fact, now every weekday, because I swear he does a weekday
still plays
show.
It too.
And I hear your voice every single. My mom rinses you 98.7.
That's a blessing.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You know that. So, how do you feel knowing that your name is able to still ring through these Toronto streets?
It's a blessing now.
And it's respect to know that
it's beautiful.
Two people at two heights can still.
Yeah. People it came to a point where when people saw me in the street, they wouldn't say, "Oh, well, on Trinity Chris," they'd be like, "Big man ting." You know what I mean? Yo, they'd be hailing me that way. Yeah. Off of my jingles.
Yeah.
It was a blessing, man. It's something really, really good to enhance.
Definitely.
To embrace, and it enhanced my career a lot.
Definitely.
Just jingles, man.
But that's another,
You know, just
that's
jingles.
another thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so Bona type pants and a square front shoes. Like another just undeniable, from the kids to the moms to the grandparents to the church folks to the young people to the Chinese to the Indian to the white.
It can, yeah. Specs did justice with that.
Everybody was rinsing it.
He dealt with it
Everybody.
the right way.
You know how many songs were built off of that one?
They had dances for it. I seen a few dance crews with it. It was love.
Everything.
It was such love. I had no idea.
Like, did you ever imagine that track would have been such a heavyweight?
Hell no. Again, like, I love music, so I was listening to Specs one night at home. Like I do, I used to roll a spliff and sit down and listen to the show because I was always waiting to hear my songs play. And plus I wanted to hear the competition.
Of course.
I just wanted to hear the sound of what's happening. You know, it's just
Sure,
you're doing your homework,
yeah.
right? So he was advertising his birthday party, and he said, "I'm keeping my birthday party at I think it was the Orange Room. Remember the Orange Room down at Government? Orange Room, or one of them spots." And he's like, "But one thing is, there's a dress code. I don't want no tight pants and no ugly square front shoes at my party." And I was like, my spliff dropped out of my hand, my ashtray fell over, I rolled on the floor, I called two of my shot a friend them and Ray. I said, "You hear what this guy just said?" And after all that, I calmed down. I said to myself, wow,
Rinse, if he had
that's
that
a good topic. So then the next night, him and I went to a party. And then I'm standing up in the party, taking in the vibe and thing. And I hear this record, man. Bad man forward, bad man pull up, bad man forward.
That was a big one too.
I was like, when I heard the rhythm, I was like, yo, that rhythm is nasty.
Yep.
I asked, inquired who it was. I heard it was Ding Dong. I knew of him. La 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 la. So I was like, I searched. That night, I searched. I didn't even go to sleep. I came from the party, searched for the rhythm online. On YouTube. Couldn't find it on YouTube, whatever. So I was like, okay, how do I do this? I said, no, F that.
Can you imagine the process you had to go through?
With no social media.
With no social media.
Nothing.
Now these artists don't have it. They have SoundCloud, they have Mixcloud, they have...
I went through everything to find that rhythm until I had to decide, okay, I'm just going to make a producer remake the beat.
Jeez.
And that's what happened. I paid a guy like a couple bills. Jim, his name is Jim, and he remade the beat. And while he was making the beat in his basement, I was just smoking, thinking of what I want to say and how I'm going to say it. I knew what I wanted to say, but how am I going to say it? And I was like, you know what? Just do it like how Ding Dong did it. Spoof it. You know how long we want bona tight pants and a square front shoes? Place lifted up.
When you heard that bomb drop.
The intro alone lift up the city. Because there were thousands of guys that hated that dress code too. And girls hated that dress code too. So I was a voice for them. No one was, say, okay, let me say something about it. Nobody did. And I did. And then I said, you know what? Include all the garrisons in Toronto.
Killed it.
Yeah, I mean, and I just bona tight pants and a square mode. From me, but I know myself, man, close with it. 38 and that, because I was a little heavier then. You know what I mean?
And your voice, like when you
lifted.
hear that, and that's what I'm saying. You're saying your intros and whatever, but it's also your voice, like the power that comes behind it. You know, when you hear Whitney, you hear Whitney. Like, you know what I mean? Like you have one of those special voices where, like, you know who it is. A lot of these artists are starting to sound the same.
Yeah.
You can't really pick them apart.
They all sound like Drake or Big Sean. They all have that monotone. Drake got that from Big Sean. Even Drake Big Sean was the first artist to come up with that, and it's ran the whole rap genre for the last how many years. Everyone sounds like Sean or Drake with that. Like, you can't tell who's who.
You can't.
Jay-Z said in the 4/4 out in the La La Land record,
yeah.
You can't tell who's who. It's so boring now.
It is.
And then they got pink hair, purple hair.
You might need a bona tight pants and a square front shoes 2.0.
2.0, eh?
Yeah, for real. For real.
That's a good idea.
So, up to something.
I'll tell you.
You know, moving forward now, that mumble rap generation, and you know, you did mention that you fucks with Killy, and to a certain degree, I'm like, yeah, I'm happy you're doing your thing. As a young kid, you could be doing a whole lot of other things, but at the same time, I'm like, I see you as an Asian, you braid up your head top.
They have to.
How do you feel about those things?
boss your top. Don't worry about what these haters say. Because the truth is, your perspective is the only one that really matters. How you see you is how you are. You be alright.
These choices.
Well, because they know what race runs it. They know what the cool race is.
Wakanda forever.
They know what the cool race is, man. We ain't gotta get racist and political. The world knows the cool race. That's why they look and dress like us and want to talk like us.
Legit.
The whole world.
Legit.
You dig?
Forever.
Black power.
Legit.
But I mean,
it's just about the music.
It is, and if you're an OG, how are you gonna hate on the young bucks, man? You can't do that.
Was it like that for you when you were coming up?
When I was coming up, a lot of hate. More hate than I could handle. But because I'm a bad boy, we know how to deal with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Bad boy mentally, physically, and lyrically. You know what I mean? We didn't let those kind of stuff. That's when that whole moniker, if they're hating on you, you're doing something good. I was born into that era. Like, you know what I mean? The early 2000s when this whole hater thing, we were born into that. So we were getting that firsthand.
Yep.
Do you know what I have to go through to get my music played, man?
I can only...
Yeah,
do you have a story you'd like to...
There's too many.
Too many.
This is too many.
And I feel like as a Canadian, coming from Canada, as your platform, I feel like you had to work how much harder?
We're getting fight in our own city with DJs in our city that you see every night. They knew the song's hot only because they didn't like Specs or didn't like King Turbo or a person didn't like me.
Mix-up.
It was mix-up.
They should have fucked it downtown.
You feel me?
Legit.
It was just mix-up for nothing. And they weren't offering anything. So who are you to hate? Perpetuate something that's good in the city, man. Like, get behind that.
And I feel like now it's great to see. I'm seeing a lot of Toronto collaborative mixtapes coming out.
Beautiful.
People are six buzz and
Beautiful.
people are collabing together. And Toronto artists are more coming together now. They understand Drake and Tory Lanez made up. And that was just a big thing for people to realize. The stronger...
The more unified, the more stronger. The more positive, the more things get done. I'm a huge Drake fan. And what these artists need to understand, I'll use a perfect example. Cardinal didn't bring the ball all the way like this guy did. Black J suffered under his tutelage for how long? Linda P's a better artist than Cardinal. Linda P should have bust big time, but he kept these guys under his hand. But you see how God don't like ugly. You know what I mean? Yeah. I knew Akon before these Cardinal guys knew Akon. I was the first person to play an Akon record in Canada. Ask King Turbo, ask Ron Nelson, 88.1.
That's a big one too.
Hello.
Shout out to
No one knew Akon until I brought Akon up here. And Slingshot and Ricky Turbo and the Morning Ride and Specs them beat it on Morning Ride, 89.5. Slingshot looked at me and said, Acorn? No, Akon. They didn't even know the man. They're like, who's this guy? Ron Nelson, same thing too. 2 years later, not even a year and a half later, biggest artist in the world. They're like, Trinity, God, no.
Cartel was mixing his shit,
That's one of my. I did a song with him called War Winner. One of my biggest records. Specs. I made a lot of money off that record, and I got that record with Cartel before he did the bleaching thing. When he was Vibes Cartel.
Timeless.
You know what I mean? Up to the time. That's when I voiced him when he was singing those ones. When he was real Cartel.
When he New York, Brooklyn Cartel. I feel you.
You know what I mean?
I feel you. So Trinity Chris then, Trinity Chris now, all the way up to No Consignment or even up to today in 2018. Did you ever imagine yourself being at this point? Did you imagine yourself somewhere further?
Much further. I mean, to all my fans out there that, respect me and show me love and, listen to my music, sorry for disappearing like that. Family issues foresees other things where, my mom had cancer, so I had to just back out of the music business, and, she had brain cancer. So
Probably over everything.
Yeah, I had to step back and just humble myself and quiet myself for, a while. So I apologize for all that, but I'm back now, and, You know what I mean? I'm going to serve and give you guys proper music like the old Trinity Chris did, you know? Because, you know, we love it.
So I did see you were doing some work with abstract learning, doing some songwriting workshops, and helping teach people how to write songs. Do you care to elaborate more on that experience?
Oh, that was a big up Abstract, big up Ante for that, big up Mega Man for inviting me. That was a cool course because, you know, I was teaching people how to use their minds, you know, and get into the zone. You know what I mean? And it was different, and I like that, you know, because any way we can choose to give back. You know what I mean? I'm me personally, I jump all over that. Any way I choose to give back, you know? So I liked it. It was different. A very interesting course, and yeah, man, it was dope.
Do you feel like they need more of those types of things in the city to help our artists cross over, or what do you feel is needed more to help our sound break through? Yeah,
man, they need more of that stuff because you see, all those legit courses at these colleges and universities are a little costly. You know, some ghetto youths can't afford that.
Legit.
You know what I mean? And enough youths don't want to go through OSAP and be coming out of school and have to pay money and all that. So when there's other avenues, it's always a blessing.
Legit.
Other positive avenues to get the job done is always a blessing. Yeah. Big up Ante for that, man. Abstract learning, wicked.
This is a big thing. Now, being independent versus a record label, having that machine behind you.
Big up Oracle Recordings. That's what I'm currently signed to right now.
Dope.
They're independent. Got a roster of good artists on their roster too. It's just, to me, if you attain certain success being independent, it just makes your career that much more stronger, and you have a longer span because you're more in control of what you want to, you know, what you do. No label telling you when to come out.
Is it really that bad?
The labels?
Yeah, like,
Man.
do they really lock up people's minds like that?
Yeah, they're conglomerates, multi-billion-dollar conglomerates, and they go by a method of madness to how they do their thing. It's either you go with it or you fold. You know what I mean? To me, I have my personal opinions about that because I know once you get to a certain height of popularity and your money gets to a certain level, you're speaking to some different people.
Definitely.
Without getting into name calling.
Yep.
Some different people are coming to check you.
Legit.
And they're trying to pimp you.
Legit.
Like just straight
up.
If it was Drake sitting here and you had that on to one-to-one, he'd tell you the same thing. Is just because their structure is so set up and they're so strong financially and in the industry, they can bypass these things. But some of these artists that are hungry to get on will just bend any way to get on.
That's kind of sad. But
it is sad.
I guess you have to build that confidence and that backbone and have your team. Do you have a team of people that you'd say you work with besides Oracle and that helps you? My
circles are small. I don't really trust people because I've been through that so much. In the early parts of Trinity Chris, I was ripped off a lot, steered wrong by management, in my eyes.
Yeah.
A lot of good things that the man who was managing me at the time too, because it was learning, it was a first for me, probably a first for them. But it was like looking back at it and looking at the hindsight of things, like they didn't have the big picture, like where it could have went. It was more instant gratification, what they can get now, the quick buck now, because I was making so much live cash everywhere. Yeah. That was the first time me ever seeing or getting the feeling of having a hit record. Jeez. You have a hit record, man, you'd be surprised.
What is that feeling, if you could even describe it at all?
Waking up to 40 missed calls. Every phone call comes, every second phone call, it's money. Either someone wants a dub plate, or they're booking you for a show, or they want you for an appearance. They want you to rock their shirt or their tracksuit or their jacket. It was this money coming from everywhere. And that was just a one tune, local fame. So you can imagine on a Kendrick Lamar level.
Jeez. That's crazy.
It was unreal, and I'm so grateful for it. Absolutely grateful, because, you know, it was just amazing that.
Do you think it's a high that certain artists chase where it then again gets them into trouble once again because they can't get that feeling of having a hit record again?
No,
because
man. I could speak.
I could say you seem like you stayed under the radar and for the most part as humble as you can be given your resume. Mm-hmm. You know?
I won't lie, like every artist misses the light, especially when you had it one time.
Brings you to some, yeah.
You know what I mean? And I had it, still have it, but I had it one time where it was crazy.
Legit.
You know what I mean? So every artist always, you know, but if you're not secure within yourself, you'll let that'll drive you crazy. And it almost did to me. Yeah. That's why I had to grab myself back and be like, yo, what? Chill, dog.
Legit.
You know what I mean? So, and just go back to loving it.
Legit.
You know, a lot of guys, they don't love it. They just love what comes from it. They don't actually love it so that it loves you back. They don't send that love frequency to it so it loves you back.
It's about your energy.
You know what I'm saying?
Legit.
It took me a while to learn that. You know?
But you're here now.
Mm-hmm.
Trinity Chris, 2018.
Yep.
What can we expect from you?
More music, man. More music, more movements. I'm more shy away from being the artist. I want to more be a business behind this thing now.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Like, find another Trinity Chris.
Legit.
That's young and hungry.
Legit.
You know what I mean? Like, that's where my mind's at right now.
Legit.
You know, that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
As a, whether you're rich or not, help someone else.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Help someone else. Steer them the way you want it to be steered.
So you can help them grow, because it's like a relay. And every time you're able to pass it on to someone else and share that wealth with them, it's not all about, and that's the issue I kind of have with this younger generation, is they're so, not to say you can't get your coins, but they're so into it for the money. And like you were saying, you got to do it from,
You gotta love it.
and everything will project.
You love it,
forward.
then you'll get rich out of it. If you genuinely love it.
If there's something that you can share with the people, with those artists out there that want to achieve those levels and know what it is to work amongst your people and be respected by your people, what would you tell them?
Wow. Be true to yourself, man. Be true to yourself on that level, because you have you to live with after.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? Don't run around trying to please everybody, boom, because you're gonna. Not only will you let them down, you're gonna let yourself down at the end too, and then that's the worst, because
That's
you have
the only
to.
person you're stuck
You
with.
you're stuck with that person at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Not them. They forget about you after you leave the circumference of the car
Facts.
or the room.
Facts.
Like, man.
Facts. All right. There's a question we ask every guest that comes on this show. You're downtown. You just lost it all. You only get one. Who do you call? So I'll say it one more time. You're stuck downtown. You just lost it all. You only get one. Who do you call?
Like phone call?
Yep. You have nothing else.
Oh, Ma Dukes, man.
Jeez.
Ma Dukes. You know why? Because we'll always be children.
Legit.
You dig? We'll always be children and need that guidance.
Legit.
You know your mom knows some things that you
Definitely.
can never figure out.
Definitely.
You know what I mean? Or
Forever.
you just want that comfort call.
Forever.
You know what I'm saying? And you know, mom's always got that secret little money in the jar there.
Forever.
You have to call them and say, yo, ma, yeah, you want to know something? I'm problem right now, ma. Yo.
For real. For real.
What? One call? Ma Dukes, man.
Read it. Well, thank you for coming out, Trinity Chris.
Thank you for having
Toronto
me.
OG.
Oh, man,
Respect.
thank you. Downtown K, you done know.
Don't waste no time with negativity. You heard it here first. The conversations you never get to hear. Hope you have another wonderful week, and thank you.
Mud.
About to go downtown.
Downtown K.
Downtown. You about to go downtown.